Monday, April 7th. The week will start with the publication of Germany's trade balance at 9 a.m. The country's exports and imports of tangible goods are reflected in it. Since about two-thirds of Germany's trade balance is generated within the EU and only one-third from trade with other countries, its impact on the euro is rather limited. On the other hand, a growing trade surplus indicates a successful economy, which can impact exchange rates. Next, Halifax's UK House Price Index will show the UK House Price Index in the reporting month. Compared to the previous month, the indicator's growth may favorably affect the pound quotes, as it indicates the growth of inflation in the residential real estate market. Tuesday, April 8th. Japan's seasonally adjusted current account will be shown the next day at 2:50. It shows the difference between imports and exports of goods, services, and interest payments during the billing month. Values of the indicator above expected are considered favorable for the Japanese yen exchange rate, and the result below the forecasted is negative. At 5 a.m., the index of purchasing managers in Canada from Ivey without seasonal fluctuations will be known. This index measures economic activity over the past month and is calculated by the Ivey Business School. The growth of the index favorably characterizes the change in market conditions and may positively affect the quotes of the Canadian dollar. Wednesday, April 9th. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand's interest rate decision will be announced around 5 a.m. midweek. It is made every 6 weeks. Setting the regulator's interest rate is one of the main instruments of monetary policy, through which the Reserve Bank of New Zealand regulates the strength of its currency. The growth of the interest rate may positively affect the quotations of the New Zealand dollar. 1730. The change in U.S. crude oil inventories from the n.s.a. will be characterized. The growth of the number of crude oil stocks in the country's warehouses indicates either a decrease in demand for raw materials or an increase in production. This hurts global oil quotations, but the change in prices is short-lived. To form a downward trend in the market, the number of crude inventories must steadily increase for several consecutive weeks. Thursday, April 10th. A day later, at 15:30, the U.S. Consumer Price Index will be published. It shows the change in the weighted average prices for goods and services in the consumer basket in the reporting month, compared to the previous month. The growth of the Consumer Price Index positively affects the dollar quotations. The number of applications for unemployment benefits in the United States will be known immediately after. It reflects the number of people who first applied to the state authorities for unemployment benefits in the past week. An increase in the number of applications for unemployment benefits for several weeks in a row may negatively affect the quotations of the U.S. dollar. Friday, April 11th. Before the weekend at 2:50, the Bank of Japan's money supply L totals will be published. The indicator includes the entire stock of money circulating in the country's economy. Values above the expected can be considered a favorable influence on the quotations of the Japanese yen, but this relationship is considered unreliable. At 9 o'clock, the gross domestic product of Great Britain will be shown. GDP reflects the value of all goods and services produced in the UK in the reporting month compared to the previous month. The calculation takes into account all the costs of goods produced and services rendered within the country's economy. GDP growth may have a positive impact on the pound quotes.